The game is underway here from the boot of Jake Mason, and that is a deep kick off, and it's collected by Nichol Williams, only maybe half a metre in from the dead ball line. It's then fetched forward, I think it's by Jody Thompson. Thompson looking to play this ball 15 metres out, now in the hands of Akuma Tai, so the middles getting their hands on the ball early doors here for the Knights. Jubb in there at dummy half, going to come down this short side into the hands then of Connor Bailey. Bailey's going to be wrapped up. Carter and is it Owen McCannon involved there, just short of the Knights 40 now on the third tackle. Harris runs across the line, then gets across to Jordan Thompson. Played in at loose forward last week with Jordan Thompson, but starting to prop this afternoon for the Knights. Only made a metre or two forward there have the Knights. It's into the hands now of Hato Ngannou, the former Lee Centurion. Lee Leopards of course these days, but they're all well over the halfway line now are the Knights. But it is the 5 and last, the 42 away from the Whitehaven line. Jubb's going to go left into the hands then of Will Dagger. Dagger's going to put it end over end, and Mason had to jump for it, but wasn't too much pressure from the Knights there. Just knew that we're probably in front and just had to give him a metre or two there, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I think York could be very happy with that opening set. You know, that, as I said, they caught a yard off their dead ball line, and they made the first two tackles on Whitehaven's 10 metre line. So, you know, they'll be looking for a nice clean set here, no penalties, and hopefully make Whitehaven kick from within the 40. But there's been a couple of good carries there from as I say, Gebby, and he's good on the front foot, and they're over halfway now, so it's a pretty good response from Whitehaven.
It is the 5 and last. Whitehaven have made it to the halfway. Jamie Dawden's dived out of dummy half and put a spiral bomb up in the air. Easily collected, however, by Will Dagger, but good chasing from Lachlan Hannigan, and Hannigan's able to wrap him up 20 away from his own line. It was Nichol Williams in there at dummy half. He's got across to Tom Lynham. Lynham nearly around on the edge, but has actually been forced into touch there by Will Evans. He celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday. I seen a sort of an unkind comment that he said, only 23. Yeah, I suppose with the bald head and the beard, he looks slightly older than Will Evans, but he's still young in years, and being able to force Tom Lynham into touch on that right hand side, Josh.
Yeah, it was pretty done by Tom, to be fair. He came onto the ball well, but I don't know if he was looking to try and get on the outside of Gebby there. It hit him relatively hard, but he sort of glanced away, and Tom seemed to get caught in two minds what to do, and just got caught and threw into touch, really. And it's a bad place to lose the ball. Second tackle, in your own 30, really. So
turnover ball here. It's going to be Ryan King to play the ball. Whitehaven start this set, then 35 metres out into the hands of Ross Ainley. Ainley's been wrapped up just exactly on the 30 metre line. 10 in from touch, comes left down this short side to Carter. Carter looking to work his way through the line. Wrapped up combination of Dagger and Harris. Whitehaven 15 metres out now. Dawden in there at dummy half, going to go right into the hands of Ainley. Second tackle in this set for the former Kells man. He's looking to go backwards. He's been wrapped up 6-7 metres out to the left hand side of the post. Dawden in there at dummy half, goes right to Jake Carter, out the back to Hannigan, and again on to Mason. Mason looking for Gebby in that right hand side corner. Adine Gebby is in on that right hand side. Is the Papua New Guinean. We said he's still searching for his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. He isn't any longer, with 3.5 minutes gone here in York. It is York 0, Haven 4.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic, to be fair. Ross Ainley took him to the sort of 20 metre marker in, and then they've spread it all the way across the field. There was plenty of movement on the edge, and then Gebby's good on the outside of Lynham, and it's a great finish, to be fair. There's two lads coming across, and he's showing a lot of strength there. And if John D. Gawley was saying he's unfit, I think then he just showed he's definitely gym strong anyway. So fantastic start from Whitehaven. Probably comes off Lynham's error again to turning the ball over early, and as John T said in his pre-match commentary, if you make errors in your own half, even NCL sides will punish you, no matter how good you are. And that's certainly what York will be talking about there, and now Whitehaven will be talking about having a nice clean set and then putting York back under pressure again.
Adine Gebby's first try in a Whitehaven shirt. We said there was much fanfare when Whitehaven announced his signing in pre-season, and obviously especially from the Papua New Guinean community. Of course, Whitehaven have plenty of Papua New Guinean connections over the years, and anytime you put a picture on, I know from Whitehaven social media, if you put a picture on any of the Papua New Guineans, it's completely hyped up by those from Papua New Guinea. Jay Carter coming in from the touchline with the conversion. Fantastic touchline conversion from Jay Carter. It means here, just with under 5 minutes gone here at the Ellinyar Community Stadium, it is York City United 0, Haven 6. And I've said so often in previous weeks, it's not the start that Whitehaven would have wanted. That's the start Whitehaven would have wanted, Josh.
Absolutely, it's really put them on the front foot. Obviously, York have got a good team out today, and that's how you stick it to good teams. You score points, and I think they'll be really happy with that, and hopefully get a good carry here from kick-off, and lads kick back well, so on the front foot.
Guy Graham is the man to fetch it forward, the Scottish international. On his third season of rugby league is Guy Graham, and seems to get better match by match. It's Rio Corkle in the back row, the second row this afternoon, but he's been pushed back. Some great defence there from the Knights. He's going to play this ball 10 metres out. It's going to be second tackle. It's a scruffy, messy play of the ball. It's going to go right into the hands of Dean Gebby. Gebby looking to try and find some space. Thought he might have been caught slightly there, but referee Cameron Worsley not too interested in it. It's now Ryan King who shapes the dummy in it loose forward, but wrapped up by the Knights, and it's 20 metres out here. Jamie Jordan in at dummy half finds Graham, who then finds Ross Ainley nearly a space in there for that. And Ainley's going to be wrapped up. It is the 5 and last, just over the 30 metres, so it's exactly the response that Andrew Henderson will be wanting from that limiting Whitehaven's yardage there. But it's a long kick by Jay Carter, and Will Dagger's collected on his own 10 metres, and now found Tom Lynham. Lynham had to stretch for that when he's run at Will Evans and Lachlan Hannigan, and like I say, it's the perfect response from the Knights there, Josh, limiting Whitehaven to only 30 metres.
Yeah, it's the response that you want when you've conceded early points, and they Will Dagger chucked a bit of a speculative ball to Lynham there, but he got his head through, and then Kynehorst has carried as well, and now it's Brown, and they've had 3 carries that they're a couple of yards off the halfway line, and they've just got a 6 again, so it's penalties and errors that cost team, but you're halfway up. Agano's just lost the ball, so it's fantastic from Whitehaven point of view. They're going to get a scrum on the halfway, and he did lose the ball there. Everyone's complaining about it, but he's tried to force the offload, and tackle one. It's not the smartest thing to be trying to do. So Whitehaven, we'll see what they're about now. Whether they'll go to try build some pressure in corners, or whether they'll go for the throat. And with the way York defended that last start, I'd go for the throat again.
7.5 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. You can hear the lively Knights crowd behind us, but Whitehaven fans are situated down to our right hand side, and we've had a few choruses of Ichiwawa already trying to back Jonty Gawley's side so far this afternoon, but Whitehaven have scrummed down 8 metres short of halfway. Jamie Doran's going to come down the short side into the hands of Curtis Sear, who will look to try and get himself over halfway, but he's been picked up and dragged back there as Curtis. And to be fair to the Whitehaven attackers there, they've been able to help him. He only lost a metre or two. It's now Owen McCarran trying to utilise the space left there by the 4 City Knights defenders, and he's got himself to the Knights 40 metre line. Doran's then going to go right into the hands of Carter. Carter runs it across the line, then finds Guy Graham. Graham then finds the offload into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan is through, looking for support, then finds Jay Carter. Ball's hit the floor, and it's going to come off the hands of the Knights, and I think it's going to come off the hands of the Knights there, which why it didn't go into the hands of Jay Carter, and it's going to be a scrum down, head and feed here to, or is it going to be offside? Just looking to, is it going to give a penalty, I think, because he wasn't. It's the obstruction, it's one or the other. The referee, the signals aren't the clearest from the referees these days, Josh, but it's going to be a penalty, and Haven are going to elect to go for 2.
I mean, it's obviously put some 2 scores up. I think I would have kept going there. I mean, it wasn't a particularly expansive play to start off with. They just hit the Guy Graham at middle at field, and a bit of a pass behind him, and he almost went through the line backwards, and it was a great offload to Lachlan Hannigan, and you'd like them to maybe not force it as much, but they were clean through it middle at field then, and I think there's points. I certainly think there's points on the left edge. I really liked McCarran last weekend, and I know Curtis Tear from his days at Wathbrow, and I definitely think they'll be fancying it over Bailey, Harrison and Glover, and but 2 scores is 2 scores, isn't it? And it's a very kickable opportunity, and if York are struggling to get out of their own half, and Whitehaven have got the tails up, then I suppose it's game smarts, isn't it? And you take the 2 points.
Voice there of York Acorn head coach Josh Mortimer, who's joining us on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport this afternoon. As Jake Carter knocks over the 2 points, or 2 from 2 now is Jake Carter here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. York 0, Haven 8, and it's all about just getting that scoreboard ticking over. Whitehaven feel that's a better option rather than trying to go for the 4 and potentially 6, Josh.
Yeah, like if you said to either coach you're 8-0 up after 10 minutes, they're both going to be biting your hand off for that scoreline. So it's a great start from Whitehaven. York have got a lot of work to do. They need a really good defensive set here.
And they're not going to have an opportunity to get a defensive set. That was a wicked kick-off. It bounced away from the half-back who was trying to collect it, and Guy Graham tried to get it on the bounce. It maybe be even worth letting it bounce again. You say should probably never let a rugby league ball bounce, but that would probably be the better option there rather than Guy Graham trying to lean forward for it, and he's knocked on. Yeah,
there's a bit of naivety maybe. He's diving towards it. You know, he'd got 20-30 metres on the York defence at the time. Maybe trying to trap it would have been a better option, but you know, that's a bit of hindsight. For the first time Whitehaven are going to be under pressure on the line, and you know, there's 5-on-4 straight away on this left edge, and
Will Dagger's trying to get himself over just short of the line. There is the Knights fullback. Harrison's in there at dummy half, going to come left to Harris. Harris then into the hands of Nichol Williams, then finds Ngannou, and Ngannou's trying to step back inside, can't get around Ryan King. The Knights are 10 metres out here, right in the centre of field. Jubb's going to go left into the hands of the Williams, back inside to Jordan Thompson. Thompson gets around Corkill, but then soon involved there. Hannigan, Thompson and Jamie Doran all involved in that tackle there. Jubb going to come right into the hands of Nichol Williams, then across to Ngannou out the back, then to Harris. Harris then dummies. Carter's going to wrap him up alongside Owen McCarron. Curtis Tear involved as well. The Knights only 5 metres out here now. Harrison in there at dummy half, goes left. Dagger finds Ngannou out the back to Nichol Williams. There's an overlap on that side. Should be Tom Lynham in that corner. Tom Lynham, has he got the ball? He's in touch. He's in touch, but over the dead ball line. So over the try line was Tom Lynham, and it means it's going to be a top 20 for Whitehaven. Fantastic recovery defence from Whitehaven.
Yeah, that man Gebby again. You know, they look stripped for numbers. Kynehorse Lynham, they really came onto it well, and you'd have bet a lot of money on Tom to finish there, and that man Gebby's come across, he's gone underneath him and forced Tom into touch, and you know that it's fantastic from Whitehaven. You know, York had 3 pretty good shots there. They clearly playing through Hagano in a sort of 3 pivot system, and there was 2 wide balls, got them to the 50s, and then they played round the back there, and Whitehaven will have to be aware of that and need to get up and get and put pressure from the inside, especially on Hagano.
Jamie Doran looking for the 40-20. It is Jamie Doran. He's looking for the 40-20. It is Jamie Doran. It bounced back over the head of Tom Lynham. Will Evans has got ball onto it, but he's thrown it backwards, and then it was picked up by Jimmy Kynehorse, and then picked up by Lynham. Lynham's knocked on. Sort of 10-15 seconds of madness there. Jamie Doran initially looking for the 40-20 out of dummy half. Tom Lynham wasn't back. It's quite a firm surface here, as you'd expect being a football pitch here at the Yelling Yard Community Stadium. He bounced over the head. Evans looked to throw it back. Lynham collected, then knocked on. Scrum down, head and feed Haven. 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, again, they're very much on the front foot at the moment of Whitehaven, so they're getting the rub of the green and bounce to the ball, and that it couldn't quite go for the 40-20, but it put Tom under pressure, and he's probably having 14 minutes that he probably want to forget at the moment, but Whitehaven, it's a great position, 35 out, with the scrum play. They scored one last week. They've gone right again, and it's Will Evans, and they're looking to come up some points again.
Gebby in there at dummy half, then comes across to Mason, who finds Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be wrapped up, 26-27 metres out. He's the Nigerian international. Comes left from dummy half into the hands of King at the stretch, but now finds Carter out the back to Mason. Mason looks to throw the dummy. He's through there, he's Jake Mason. Just couldn't get his arm free, however, for the offload to Tia. Or Whitehaven certainly should have been in on this left-hand side corner. However, Mason's now 12 out. McCarron in there at dummy half. Carter then finds Ross Ainley. Big hit put on Ross Ainley from Hato Ngannou. Looking and calling for the 6 again for the flop, not getting anything. Doran in a dummy half, finds Hannigan, then finds Rio Corkill. It's going to be the 5 and last. Whitehaven 11 out, just in line with the right hand side post. Jamie Dorden in there at dummy half. He's going to put the little kick in from dummy half, and he bounces into the hands of Guy Graham, and Guy Graham crashes over. I think it come off. It could have been a Kuma tie. It just bounced off his arm. Tie seemed to fall while looking to go for the ball, and Guy Graham is the benefactor. It's his first try of this season for the Scottish international. Haven find themselves 12-0 up here in York.
Oh, it was fantastic. Look, he's clearly very happy with it, and it's a try that a prop wants to score. Akuma Tai's he's sort of fumbled the ball just under his sticks, and Guy Graham's come over the top, and he's sort of catching it as he's diving, and in one motion he's crashed down at bottom at posts, and I imagine on bus home tonight he'll be telling people he scored from 40 out, but fantastic. I'm really pleased for the lad. He obviously had a bit of a nasty knock on under the sticks from the last kick off, and he's got a reward through hard effort, and if you say he's only been playing the game 3 years, he's got a lot of ability, and I'm very pleased for him.
He joined in 2021, so this will be his 4th season. Will Guy Graham. He joined on trial initially, been playing rugby union. Father is George Graham, of course, the former Scottish Rugby Union international. But Jake Carter from 10 out and right in front means here at the Elgin Yard Community Stadium, it's York Knights 0, Haven 14, and the York public behind us already, Josh, getting quite frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a theme at York games, I'll be honest. They do get frustrated very quickly, but as you say, 16 minutes in, 14-0, and thoroughly deserved. York are just making too many errors in their own half. I think Whitehaven have made one so far, and that was obviously from a kick-off, and then Gebby force line them into touch. So it's the basics, and Whitehaven are doing them right at the moment, and York aren't, unfortunately.
Game is back underway now. The Whitehaven man has slipped there in the tackle. Can't quite tell who it was from here. I'll soon tell you in a minute when he gets up and plays the ball. It is try scored a Guy Graham. Ross Ainley now has been met pretty well by a nice defence who are still on track with their line speed. It's gone into the hands of Graham again, but he spins out of this one, spins out to that second one, but then falls over the 20-metre line, does Guy Graham. Dorden in there at dummy half. It's going to come across to Carter. Down now this left-hand side edge to Curtis Tier. Try to get away from Liam Harris, but fetched down by Miles Harrison. Owen McCarran now looking to utilise that space left, and he's going to try and spin out to that tackle, and he's fetched down a metre short, half a metre short of halfway. It is the 5 and last, goes to Carter. Carter puts the boot up, end over end, left footed. Ryan King's trying to put the chase in. Referee Cameron Wells, he says you need to give him 10 metres. Whitehaven do that, but it means Will Dagger's wrapped up 20 metres out here from his line, eventually going to be wrapped up. Made an extra metre or two there, trying to get a fast play of the ball. Now into the hands then of Joe Brown. Brown stuck the Knights over their own 32, 33 metres away from his own line. Dagger in there at dummy half, going to go left into the hands then of Tom Lynham, I think, who's come off the wing. It is Lynham. Now Williams in there at dummy half, gets away from the Whitehaven defender, which was Guy Graham, but wrapped up by Lachlan Hannigan and Rio Corkill. Sorry, Ross Ainley involved in there, comes right now to Ngannou. Ngannou's going to be met there by Ryan King, and Ainley gets involved. 5 and last now for the Knights, going to come right into the hands of Harris. Harris is going to put the kick up high. Mason looks to try to get underneath that, and he does, and there's a gap there. If Mason can get through, there's a gap, and the York Knights defence able to react quickly enough, but Mason just nearly got his head through there, and it's going to be right now into the hands of Joey Romeo. He's going to be wrapped up 22-23 metres out. 18 minutes gone. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Hannigan looks to pass nearly through the line himself. That actually is Lachlan Hannigan. It's going to be Gebby in there at dummy half. Jamie Dorden steps in instead. Now finds Nadine Gebby. Then looking to try and find some gap. He's the Papua New Guinean. Throws the offload into the hands of Will Evans instead. And he's going to be wrapped up there by Akuma Tai. Just short of his own 40 is the Welsh international. Coming now across to Ross Ainley. Ainley's just going to run it forward. Puts his head down and does. Shouts of a flop from Ross once again, but it's going to be the 5 and last. Carter left-footed once again. Plenty of height on that. Should be easy enough for Dagger to take, however, and it is, and straight away finds Joe Brown, who's looking to fetch his ball forward. Wrapped up there by McCarran and Doran, and probably the first time Joshua had 3 to 4 sets without any interruption.
Yeah, it was nice to just get into the game then. I'm really impressed with Ainley and Graham. I'm a former middle forward myself, and I just think that the pair of them are not overly expansive or flash, but they just keep going forward. They're playing as a tandem. They're often pushing up next to each other, and they've been clobbered by Igano and Jordan Thompson a couple of times now, but they just keep coming, and I've got a lot of time for blokes who do that. And Ross Ainley is a young kid. He's come through the system at Kells, and I think he could be a mainstay of a Whitehaven team for a long time. He looks like he's got a good attitude on him, and fair play to that lad.
Jubb comes down the short side and finds Bailey. This should probably be 5 and last, I think, for the night. So I'm just going to make sure when referee Cameron Worsley puts his hand up in a second. No, we've missed it.
There was a 6 again, I think.
Oh, there was a 6 again in there, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Harris now in the hands of Ngannou, out the back to Williams, and into I think Harvey Reynolds on that side. It is now the 5 and last. It's going to go down that short side into the hands of Dagger. Dagger will look for the kick forward, and it's into the hands, collected nicely there by Ideen Gebbie. He's been wrapped up pretty much straight away, and he's going to play this ball short of his own 10 metres. It's Mason in there, then finds Will Evans. Backs have got some hard yards to do here. They'll be wanting the forwards to come in and help them out. Hannigan's now waiting in there at dummy half. Ooh, it's a long pass. Romeo, it's still the backs doing the work here, but Brett Bailey's being fetched out. He's just replaced Guy Graham, who's put in a good opening 20-minute stint there for Jonty Gawley's side. It's Curtis Tia now, trying to spin out that tackle. Knight's defence on top again in this set. Tia not held, however, so he's made another 12-13 metres before being fetched down. Well needed yards there from Curtis Tia. Doran in there. Hato Ngannou was about 3 yards offside, but not picked up on by referee Cameron Worsley. But he's going to be the 5 and last. Whitehaven have made it to their own 40. Lachlan Hannigan's going to put the spiral bomb up. Hasn't made too much metres, and Harrison there, and McCarran wraps up Miles Harrison pretty much straight away. Just waited, did the Australian, and made sure to strike Harrison as soon as he caught the ball.
Yeah, it was a good set from Whitehaven again. Curtis Tia, got tackled, looked like it'd been done, and then Harrison dropped off him, and it, as you say, he ran another 12 yards, and it was just what Whitehaven needed. They'd had a couple of carries not really sort of coming away, and the kick from Hennigan was high, but I think he'd have probably wanted another sort of 10 yards on it or so. And within 3 tackles, Yorker back, Featherstone, Yorker back in the Whitehaven half. But they're looking comfortable. I think that Yorker thrown a few things at them, and I think if they carry on staying in this arm wrestle, Harris might have just lost ball. But no,
not given by the touch judge. He's now 5 and last, however, for the Knights, and Ngannou's going to put the kick up left-footed. Mason should have plenty of time to get there, and he does. He's had to fall pretty much straight away to avoid being clattered. As Ross Ainley, he's now the man to leave the field, and he's going to be replaced by Castleford-Loney, Dan Hindmarsh. And that ball, is it going to be it's been knocked down by a Knight's hand. But Whitehaven living dangerously there, and it's going to be a scrum down head and feed to Whitehaven, but that's not what they need, Josh. They just need probably up the next couple of minutes, simple up the jumper time before just make sure that maybe dampen the Knights' enthusiasm just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it a few times now, rather than just sort of punching around the ruck, where I think York are a bit more bigger, a bit physical. Certainly early in the tackle count and tackle 1-2, they've been firing sort of 20-metre passes to their edgemen and around the middle of the field, and that were a bit of a speculative pass, that one, and it was one of them you just really don't want to watch. Dean Gebbie sort of knocked it on, and then Kynehorse picked it up and just dabbed it down, but obviously one of the York players must have got a hand to it and knocked it on. So it's a good system for getting away front middles and getting an early roll on, but obviously it has its risks there, and as we said maybe 5 minutes ago, Whitehaven are very much getting the rub of the green at the moment, and obviously that's a case in point.
So Ryan King's going to be the man to play this ball. Hugh Worthington's out on the fill now there as well, so Jonty Gawley bringing the changes early on. Now out the back, it actually could have been Worthington that was on here. It's Worthington instead of Brett Bailey, so my apologies with that. It is now the 5 and last for Whitehaven. Jamie Doran scooted out the dummy half before putting the kick in, split Dagger and Lynham, and Dagger's collecting this on his own try line, and he's going to be fetched down. He essentially slipped into that tackle, but 15 metres away from his own line. Nick Williams in there at dummy half. There's Connor Fitzsimmons, of course, the Cumbrian, has been on to replace Akuma Tai. Liam Harris is struggling there. He's just holding his shoulder. To me, it looks like his shoulder's further down than probably where it should be, but the physio will know a lot more than I will. And that's a fantastic shot from Hugh Worthington.
Yeah.
On Miles Harrison. But Harris is struggling out there for the night at the moment. He's just holding that. He's just got that arm in straight. He's not wanting to bend at all at the moment. He's Harris, but Jubb's going to put the ball across to Ngannou now. Ngannou looking for the 40-20. He hasn't got the length on that, and he actually hasn't got the angle either. That is out on the full, and it's going to be a stoppage in play here. But it is going to be that Whitehaven are going to get this ball back in the York half. Well, 38 metres out, Josh.
Yeah, it's another one of those errors, and as you say, the Cumbrian Fitzsimmons just come on, but he split his face open, so that doctor's going to look at him now while physio's looking at Harris, and Harris is not looking good with that shoulder.
Anything blood these days or anything on there is an immediate HIA. Whitehaven found that out last week.
Yeah, so
it's going to be that Conor Fitzsimmons is being won on a grand total of what, 30 seconds?
Yeah, I mean he's a tough kid, and he's clearly not happy about it.
But showing, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the game now. I'm surprised Harris is still out there, if I'm honest, because his left arm has not moved, and as you say, it's definitely hanging lower.
Definitely hanging lower.
And
you've got an option there of moving Ngannou into 6, so into 6 or 7. But so they've got options, but yeah, it just seems strange that he's still out there.
I know exactly what I'd be doing now after that little break.
I'd be running at least.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I'd get McCarron straight on him. I think McCarron's a really strong line runner, and Miles Harrison's playing centre, and he's a young kid. He's more a fullback by trade, and maybe in a few years he might develop into a better centre. But I'd certainly, in fact, they're coming this way to it now.
Lachlan Hannigan's thrown the dummy instead and taken Harrison on. Yeah. Whitehaven are at 18 metres out here. Carter in a dummy half, going to go right then into the hands of Hugh Worthington. Worthington's going to be fetched down 12 metres out, in line with the right hand side post. Jamie Doran throws the dummy. Does Jamie Doran, spins out to one. Can't. He's going to fall over. All he needs to do is fall over. No, he's just fall down short. All he needed to do was fall over with Jamie Doran, but he was dragged back at the last minute. He's a metre out. King is going to dive over him. It's dummy half. It's Ryan King. We've seen that so often when he jumps in a dummy half from the Italian international. That is Whitehaven's third try of the afternoon. You can hear the boos running round here, ringing round, I should say, at the LNER Community Stadium. Whitehaven are 18 points to the good, and with a J Carter conversion from right in front, Josh Mortimer, it should soon be 20-0 to Haven.
Absolutely, and it's thoroughly deserved. York have been trying hard, but they've been making poor errors, and especially poor errors in their own half. And Higano's tried to go for a 40-20. Obviously, it's a game-changing sort of play, and he's just not got the angle right, and he's put it out on the full. And from that set, York have really got to book their ideas up in defence. I think Jamie Doran, he could have almost scored himself. He's sort of powering through, 2 men on back of him, and he's eventually been forced down a yard short, and Ryan King it's a pretty weak try, I think, to concede. It's one of them that Henderson will be particularly angry about. Higano's been sent off, well, not sent off, been subbed off for Ronan Michael, and it's one of them, I think, when you put an half back into the middle of the field, your attacking shape's a lot better, but no disrespect to Higano, defending in the middle is a completely different ball game, and it's game smarts, and you're playing against people who've played that position for a long time and know how to defend there, and it's pretty weak under the sticks for sure.
Well, after all that, we said Ngannou might be going to half. He's being fetched from the field, and Liam Harris remains out there. Jay Carter added the extras. York 0, Haven 20. I didn't think I'd be saying that after 27 minutes. I don't even think the most optimistic Whitehaven fan would have been expecting to say that. But Dan Hanmarsh is now the man to fetch it forward. He's been taken down just short of the 20. He's on 20. Jamie Doran in there, now finds Rio Corkill. Corkill just makes his way over that on 20 in centre field. He's going to play the ball. Doran in at dummy half, then comes across to Ryan King. Latest try scored for Whitehaven. Inside ball back to Hugh Worthington. Worthington finds his front, trying to get a fast play of the ball on his own 30. Jamie Doran looking for that 40-20. And you say it's the football pitch in that. It's just bouncing up straight away there here at the LNER. It means Dagger's going to be tackled. 8 metres short of halfway, probably not the best option there for Whitehaven, as Lineman now the man to fetch it forward. Josh Daly's going to go out there to replace Will Jubb for the night. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. York 0, Haven 20. 28 minutes gone here in York. It's the Yites now. So it's Kynhorst that plays the ball, now finds Ronan Michael. he's definitely not going to be one we're not going to miss this afternoon. He's got blonde dyed hair. I think he's been dead on that wheel that every rugby league club seems to have. It's going to be the team B fumbled going into the tackle, was able to recollect, but he's been judged to have knocked on, and the Knights not able to complete the set once again. Andrew Henderson must be ripping his hair out at the moment, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, it was good shape. John Thompson struck it into the line, and he's double pumped, and it's not the greatest by team B again. It's one of them where he's gone through, he's took eyes off ball, it's hit him in middle at chest, and it's popped through, and it's frustrating. York have got themselves in a good position there, and it's what we would call an unforced error. It's an individual error that's let the side down there, and they need something from this defensive set. They need to show a bit. They've changed all the middles now except for Jordan Thompson, and they need to start getting into Whitehaven and trying to wrestle this game back before, even with 50 minutes left to play, it's almost too big and gone. Obviously there's been a fair few games in NRL this week. They've got to this sort of scoreline early on, and then they've ended up either tight or that team losing. But with the way Whitehaven have been going, I just don't see that happening. They're over the halfway again through tier there, and they're just on the front foot with everything that they do, and look so calm and controlled.
King nearly through there. Sorry to cut over you there, Josh, but Ryan King almost just able to break his way through. It's going to be the 5 and last for Whitehaven. They're 5 over halfway, so into the Knights half here. Comes left into the hands of Carter. Carter's going to put the kick up high. There's going to be plenty of chasers on this one. Can Joey Romeo get there? He can't, but then Joe Brown collects it, and then he puts it into touch there by Joey Romeo, and you've seen the shouts there of let go. He's pumped up his Joey Romeo. You might have noticed last week he was at fault maybe 1 or 2 tries from that, so he just wanted to maybe put that right this afternoon. He's done it there by putting Joe Brown into touch. You've heard him shout let's go. He's pumped his Joey Romeo.
Absolutely. I mean, but it's that individual effort that's been brilliant, and as you say, he might not have been particularly happy with how he played last week, but the lad's trying to make amends, and he's certainly having a dig today. He's had some good carries out of yardage, and it was a very good kick by Carter, and Joe Brown's caught it a yard off touchline, and as he's caught it, Romeo's threw him straight into touch. So
Hannigan comes across to Owen McCarran. McCarran nearly breaks it through there, but Whitehaven are less than 5 metres out here. Can they get over for a 4th try of the afternoon? It's a 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. King comes right into the hands of Hugh Worthington, so Whitehaven have a fresh set of 6. This will be first tackle, and Whitehaven are 2 metres out, in line with the left hand side post. Dorian in there at dummy half. Another 6 again. Carter then comes across into Dan Harnmarsh. Harnmarsh is going to be stopped 2 metres out, but to the right hand side of the post now. Whitehaven. Doran then comes across to Ryan King. King finds Carter. Carter steps back inside. Thompson's in there to wrap him up alongside Ronan Michael. Lost a couple of metres of Whitehaven. Jamie Doran offers it out, then finds Hannigan, then finds Jake Mason. Mason steps back inside, gets round 1, can't get around Harvey Reynolds. Doran in way to dummy half. Going to go right into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan with the dummy. There's no one in support. If there was someone there that had crashed over, Hannigan's wrapped up 2 metres out. Gebby's going to try and dive over. Dean Gebby's got that ball down. He's held up. Is Dean Gebby? It's going to be 5 and last. Yorks have held out well so far. Jake Mason going to put a quick cross field. That wasn't in the playbook. It's bounced though into the hands of the Whitehaven try knock on. It's got to be a top 20. It's been ruled by to be knock on by Whitehaven and knock on each. That's why it isn't just a play on, saying it was knocked on initially by Whitehaven and then the Knights, and that's why we go back for the top 20 and make sure everyone's in position. The York public don't like that. 32 minutes gone.
Yeah, they're not very happy about it, but I think the ref got everything right there. There was Carter, there was Tier, there was Joe Brown and Miles Harrison all competing for the ball in the air. The ball scrambled around, eventually came up with Joe Brown taking the ball away, and ref was already signalling straight away that it was a tap. Yeah, there was no debate about it, but the York fans were unhappy that Brown was running away down the touchline, but straight away the ref had made the decision. I think he got it right there. So but again, Whitehaven will be really happy with it. The building pressure that they're making York defending. At the end of the day, you're less likely to concede tries if you're playing in their opponent's 10-metre line. So Whitehaven will be really happy. Potentially keep York out here and obviously work the way back downfield again.
as the Knights have done. It is going to be 5 and last, coming right now into the hands of Nico Williams. Williams is going to put the crossfield kick in. Romeo's looking to get there, gets there on the full. Good work from the Whitehaven winger, and he's fetched the ball up to 7 or 8 metres away from his own line. Good work there from Joby Romeo, catching that ball on the full. Hannigan's in there at dummy half, then comes across to Curtis Tia. Tia's going to fall over the late 10 metre line, so he's going to play this 10 away from his own line. Centre field, Carter's in a dummy half on this occasion, and then comes across then to Will Evans. Evans is round 1, can't get it around 2, but the Welsh international is going to be wrapped up, but he's made 10 metres eventually there, laterally and forward has Will Evans. 6.5 to go to the half-time break as Adine Gebby tries to get round Ronan Michael, and that should be a penalty. Is it going to be a penalty?
Yeah.
Gebby tried to get up for the fast play of the ball, and the Knights man just held on, and it's holding on at the ankle, and it means it's going to be a penalty here for the Knights. For Whitehaven. It's only the second penalty of the half, and both gone in favour of Whitehaven.
Yeah, a bit lucky with that one, I thought, because it's one of them where they had hold of him on the floor still, but he put the ball down and took his hands off it, and obviously that's a knock on first. So it could have gone either way, I think, but as I say, Whitehaven are 20-0 up, and they're getting the rub of the green, and rightly so. Again, it comes from Romeo, that it were a dangerous kick. He's took it under pressure. He's bounced off a few people. He could have easily been clattered and gone back behind the try line. And he's just managed to get 5-6 yards out. And it's those sort of little individual efforts that Whitehaven are winning on, and obviously, and that's why they're winning on the scoreboard.
Jamie Dordan's about to spin out of this tackle. The Whitehaven have started on halfway. They've made it to 32 away from the Knights line. King now then finds Carter. Carter's across the line and across to Curtis Tia. Tia's then going to call the forward pass. Otherwise Whitehaven look to have been in. And you can hear what the York public think of that one. They think that's the first decision they've had go in their favour this afternoon. But it must have just been a line ball, with just pretty much on line with it. And the touch judge, in all fairness to him, stopped straight away, called the forward pass, scrum down, head and feet to the Knights. Yeah,
it's one of them that goes either way. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And but Tia's hit the ball really hard, and he's again playing into that channel where Harris is. He's carrying his arm a little bit better now, but there was maybe a couple of sets before McCarran made him tackle him as well, and I would be playing at him all the time now, and let see how good his shoulder actually is. But again, it's Whitehaven are getting into York half, and they're causing problems. So as long as they don't keep making errors in yardage or giving any 6 agains or penalties, that they've got to be comfortable with where they're at.
Gone left from the base of the scrum here of the Knights. It's into the hands of Tom Lynham. Lynham's made it to 38 metres away from his own line. Going to come scoot from dummy half is the Knights man, who's through Kinehorst. Kinehorst is going to be wrapped up just 2 metres short of halfway. It's Daly in there now at dummy half. Comes across to Jordan Thompson. Thompson then across to Harris. Then across to Bailey. Connor Bailey, that is. Wrapped up by McCarran and Jake Carter. Into the Whitehaven half now, 42 away from the Whitehaven line. Come down the short side. Harris looks to dummy, hit there by Carter on that shoulder. So see what he's like when he gets up alongside Curtis Tia, but playing this 28 away now from the Whitehaven line. Thompson steps around one, steps round King. He's not going to get past Owen McCarran. And King gets re-involved. It is going to be the 5 and last. 23 metres out here. 3.5 to go to the half-time break. Going to go left end into the hands of Harris. Harris then comes across to Nico Williams. They're going for the power play. Now finds Dagger. Dagger's going to put the kick in over the top. Finds it in Gebby. Gebby's away on that right-hand side. He shouldn't be caught with the Papua New Guinean. He shouldn't be caught. Harris is on the way. Miles Harrison's on the way. He's going to have to step back inside. Bats the ball. He should have just kept all of it. White line fever from Adine Gebby. Liam Harris had got back. And then that's a high tackle from Joby Romeo. White line fever from Adine Gebby. And I think he's maybe felt something there as Adine Gebby. He's just holding his left hamstring. He's the Papua New Guinean. Hopefully just a twinge and nothing too much more. Whitehaven have got a winger on the bench through Oscar Doran if needed, and that's maybe why you look to put the ball inside the Papua New Guinean. Have to wait and see what goes on there, and he's just going to limp back. But if anything, it was white line favour there. He just seen the line begging and felt we need to get over there. It could have been 24-0, and now it's going to be the Knights who are going to start this set on halfway, Josh.
He's moving a bit better now, and there were Mason back in the inside, but maybe 15 yards behind him, and there were plenty of York chasers that would have made it particularly difficult for Mason to do anything with that. I think he'd been better off dying with the ball, but it was good effort from Harris. Harris got across well there and put pressure on him, and Miles Harrison as well would have probably competed with him certainly into the corner, but Harris certainly showed a lot of pace. But yeah, it's one of them where you'd want Gebby to be a bit smarter in that position. It'd have been fantastic for Whitehaven to just play out the set, rather than just throwing ball in from 20 metres away. It's frustrating.
So the Knights now are 20 metres out. Daly's going to go left into the hands of Nick Williams. Connor Fitzsimmons is getting ready to come back on down below us, so he's going to have passed his HIA. But the Knights 5 metres out, 5 and last, and are they going to power over? Are they? It's not. It's through in the hands of Jack Tameby, and they're just able to fetch him down before the line there of the Whitehaven defence. And with 90 seconds to go, they have been able to hold the Knights out and keep the Knights 0 in place, and should do going into the half-time break. But it's Will Evans now that's going to look to fetch this ball forward. He's been fetched down 7 or 8 metres out. Mason's lining weight there at dummy half, then comes across then to Curtis Tia looking to spin out of that tackle. Mason in there at dummy half once again, goes across then to Joey Romeo on the opposite side of where he's playing this afternoon, but just trying to help his middles out there at the moment. We're into the final minute here of the first half at the LNER. York 0, Haven 20. Kings taken down. Mason in at dummy half once again, looking to just try and maybe spell that. He's nearly through. It's Jake Mason. He was just the last grasp arm there from Harvey Reynolds, but Gebby's in a dummy half now on this occasion. Goes down that right hand side. Corgill throws in. Whitehaven should be in once again. Full left and right. Rio Corgill doesn't need it. Whitehaven are going to score their 4th of the afternoon, and they're going to go into the half time break at least 24-0 to the good. Rio Corgill goes in on that right hand side. It's his third try of the season for the former Barrow Raider. It's York 0, Haven 24. What is going on here, Josh Mortimer?
Yeah, really, they're playing front foot rugby, and they absolutely deserve it. They've had a bit of an exit set there. Coming out, I thought it was a poor end to the set by York to just have a settler really. And Curtis Tier and Romeo have got him out of yardage, and then Mason's come in and got on the front foot. He really sort of pushed his way through the middle there, and then Gebby's coming to scoot away from that, and it's 4-on-3 on the short side, and Gebby's done some great work, and then he's got the ball to Corkill, who but the push through, there's Enigan and Evans on either side of him, so it's 3-on-1 on fullback, and he's thrown dummy, and I love it. He's ran in from 15 out, and it's a fantastic try, to be fair. They played some great stuff and absolutely deserved it where they are.
Whitehaven had 16 start on the handicap. So if anyone's backed the handicap this afternoon, or if you've backed Whitehaven off scratch, as Jake Carter tags on 2, it's half time here in York, and I can't believe I'm about to say this. I am going to wake up in a minute. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It's York City Knights 0. It's Whitehaven 26. Tries in the opening minute. The kick-off is going to be collected by Lachlan Hannigan, who then finds Dine Handmarsh. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, and that's the start that Andrew Henderson will have been wanting to push Handmarsh back 3 or 4 metres there. But this is BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It is York 0, Haven 26 here at the LNER Community Stadium. Whitehaven are looking to fetch his ball forward. Worthington's wrapped up on the second tackle. Dordan goes down the short side to Owen McCarran, and McCarran's run hard there and made 14-15 metres as Dordan lining weight at dummy half. King, Hannigan finds Rio Corkill. Corkill throws the dummy. Made his own 40 there as Rio Corkill. Hannigan lining weight at dummy half, goes then across to Will Evans. Evans throws the dummy, but got to be caught high, and that is a penalty to Whitehaven. And we've said that it's not, York need to start well, Josh, and that's not what they want to do or need to do.
A tackle for penalty, on Whitehaven's 40, it's fantastic. They were going nowhere. Well, I say going nowhere on that play. Will Evans is sort of crabbing a little bit across field. He's been shut off, and it's not a vicious high tackle or anything like that. But it wore high from Fitzsimmons, and it's that sort of thing that it's just infuriating. Whitehaven have gone from kicking in their own 40 to starting the set in York's 40. And, that's the difference.
Evans takes the taps, then gets it across to Rio Corkill. Whitehaven tap that 30 metres out from the Knights line. Jamie Doran in there at dummy half, 23 metres out. It's going to go in centre field to Dan Hindmarsh. Spins in the tackle, this Hindmarsh. It's going to be fetched down 12 metres out, just to the right hand side of the post. It's going to come left from dummy half into King, out to Carter, then out the cross to Owen McCarran. The option on there was 3-on-2 if we went for Mason on the back, but McCarran's been put down instead. 9 metres out to Whitehaven, left hand side of the field. It's going to come back into centre field now with King. King just takes the line on. Wrapped up 5 metres out is the Italian internationals in the centre of the field. Options right and left here. Whitehaven are going to go left into the hands then of Jake Carter. Finds Mason then across to Johnny Romeo on that left hand side corner. Romeo comes back inside and Whitehaven are in for their 5th of the afternoon, and it was a long way back already for Andrew Henderson, Yorkshire United. It's even longer now. It's the Knights 0, Haven 30. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online.
Yeah, I mean, John Tigoli needs to go buy a lottery ticket. I think everything's going his way at the moment, and as you say, a penalty from York has just given the come on. I don't know if Will Dagger's just been sin-binned. I thought I saw a yellow card, and Will Dagger's running towards touchline now.
That tells us he has. I was making my notes, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
I thought I saw a card brandish, but it were in amongst a crowd of people, and Will Dagger's just jogged over to touchline, and
I think he has. I think he's been sent for 10. It must be dissent or something. And Paul Cook's going out there, who's part of Andy Henderson's backroom staff, and maybe going to try and find out what for or whatever it was, but it can only be 4 dissent if Dagger has. We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's poor Henderson's tearing his hair out. I mean, Dagger's one of your best players. It's not what you need, and losing a fullback. I imagine they'll probably have to put Harrison there now, and back row will go into centres, and it just puts them so much more under pressure. But again, it was fantastic from Whitehaven. Carter with a face ball straight across the wing to Romeo, who's been having a real good dig, and it wasn't a formality, and he's cut back inside and he's got ball down. So I mean, I think Dagger, looking at what he was gesturing at the York subs, is saying he got underneath it, but from where we were sat, it looked pretty conclusive, and obviously the ref agreed with that. So 30-0, 35 minutes to go. York have really up against it now.
It's remained 30-0 because Carter has missed for the first time this afternoon. But kick off into the hands of Gebby, who's now shown some tape on that left hamstring. Look to go for the power play on player 1, but it's been wrapped up. Has the Papua New Guinean and just only stayed in the field of play. Played it 20 out, now into the hands of Rio Corkill. Doran in there at dummy half. Worthington then just looks to put his head down and fetch this ball forward. Gets the offload, however, into the hands of Jamie Doran. Now King, then Carter, then finds McCarran. McCarran's going to take Whitehaven over the 30 metre line. And then into the hands of Dan Hindmarsh. The D pushes his defender off, but then soon wrapped up again. Michael's in there, and as is Harrison, and Connor Bailey's in there as well. But Whitehaven over halfway now with Jamie Doran. Jamie Doran through. Jamie Doran looking for support on the left hand side. He's going to be wrapped up. He's lost the ball there, is Jamie Doran. It was fantastic work from the Whitehaven hooker, and just couldn't keep hold of the ball when he was tackled from behind. But Jamie Doran shouldn't be getting through a gap like that, Josh Mortimer.
No. Reynolds had stayed back a long way, and again, it was just a 20-yard gap in middle at field, and I don't know much about Jamie Doran, I'm not going to lie, but when I saw James Newton wasn't playing, I thought Whitehaven might struggle with that, his energy in middle at field, and I thought that Doran has been having a fantastic game, and he's just made a 30-yard break there from pretty average defence, but obviously he's come up with a fumble from it was sort of an awkward looking tackle from behind that often do force the ball. So York are back into Whitehaven half, and they need to come up with something.
42 metres away, comes left into the hands of Connor Fitzsimmons. Simmons is then going to be taken down. It is going to be the 5 and last, wrapped up by Corkill and King. Daly's in there, going to come left into the hands of Nico Williams. Williams is going to put the kick end over end for Adine Gebby. Gebby takes it 5 metres away from his own line and just needs to fetch the ball forward. Lachlan Hannigan gets the penalty. Yeah, I was about to say Lachlan Hannigan's calling for the high tackle, and I think he was right. I will apologise for any language and makeup pick up. We are quite close to the fans here behind us on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Yet again, we will apologise, but this is live sport, and of course with the fans right behind us. If he's going to carry on, I will have a word though. But Josh will back us up, won't he?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
I get into it. Let's go.
But that's Whitehaven. It's only fourth penalty. I'd say only fourth penalty afternoon. But Whitehaven's only conceded one, and we said there wasn't a lot of stoppages in that first half, which probably allowed Whitehaven to get the momentum. Evans then is the man to take the tap from the penalty and just runs it forward. Whitehaven only made sort of 5, 6, 7 metres from that. They were that close to the touchline. Hannigan then goes left into the hands of King. Carter over the top to Curtis Tier. Whitehaven playing with some freedom here. Freedom when you're 30 points up. Tier's fetched down 5 short of halfway. Now finds Carter. Comes across then to Hugh Worthington. Worthington spins out to that tackle. And going to be just wrapped up over the halfway line. Dornan lining way to dummy half, going to go left into the hands of Carter, then finds Mason. Mason steps back inside. It's going to be fetched down there, a combination of Connor Bailey and Miles Harrison. Carter again comes across then, just a pop-up pass to Ryan King. It's going to be the 5 and last. They are 25 metres out. It's going to go left into the hands of Carter. Carter puts a little kick forward from Mason. There's no full-back in place, and it's going to be they're going to be wrapped up there. Is Joe Brown. No one stepped into that full-back role. Both of the wingers had dropped back. Lynham had dropped back. Joe Brown had dropped back. None of them had obviously realised or even decided to think to step in where Dagger was. And Joe Brown's been nailed behind the try line for the goal line dropout.
Yeah, it's they're doing it tough at the moment at York. Obviously Joe Brown's playing out right wing. He's defending next to Harris, who's walking around with one arm, and you know that. Whitehaven made a lot of yardage upfield then on their left, so York's right, and you know they're just giving them the come on. Gebby's just ran across line there, we're bumping off 3 men, and you know it's all Whitehaven, and you know I can't see anything other than 36-0 at this rate. So you know long may it continue.
Worthington's made it to 8 metres out here, in line with the right hand side post. Jamie Doran in there at dummy half. It's going to come down this right hand side. Jamie Doran, he's gone for the power over instead. Now Ryan King dove over from the dummy half in the first half, and the Knights remembered that. They have. King, however, he hasn't, has he? He surely hasn't. No, he hasn't. I was about to say, he surely hasn't. He's a metre out. Comes right, Hannigan. Lachlan Hannigan's over, however, and that is Whitehaven's 6th try of the afternoon. It's Lachlan Hannigan's 2nd in a Whitehaven shirt, and it's York 0, Whitehaven 34. And Josh Mortimer, this is scarcely believable here.
Yeah, I mean, I said I couldn't do anything other than 36-0, and that's 4-on-4 on short side. You know, you're playing from sort of 25 yards in, just at right of the post as we look at it, and. You know they've had a lead runner from Corkill, and Hannigan's just come round back, and again it's pretty basic from York, and he's gone through untouched and put the ball down. But you know it's again that you know you come back to Gebby in the corner, and you know, it's a good kick from York. He's been tackled 5 yards away from his own try line. You know he's in. You know, box one as you would call it, and you know, they've come up with the first tackle, high tackle, and it's just given them the easy out. And you know, Whitehaven they're getting everything, but they're deserving everything, and they're playing some fantastic rugby and well deserved. So, I can't see Carter missing this one with the way he's been kicking. So
I said that last week, and
we cursed him.
He did then curse him. So I'm not saying anything at the moment. But Carter's lining this up left-footed. No curse on Jay Carter this time, and it means we've just under 30 minutes to go here in York. And yet again, I can't believe I'm going to say this on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, purely because I expected this to be such a tight contest. It's York City Knights 0, Whitehaven 36, and Josh, they're good for it.
Absolutely,
they've been the much better side.
Yeah, no, and like. I suppose we probably have addressed a few issues that York have been doing, and I don't know if we're paying Whitehaven enough credit, because like York fans are getting frustrated with everything that's going on, but Whitehaven they're doing all the little things right. You know, like Corkill and McCarran and Romeo. Sorry, they're just working hard. They're getting on that front. You know, they're doing the little 1%, and. Yeah, they're coming up with the chocolates at the end of it, and it's well deserved. You know, Ryan King at middle at field is, it's a bit of a throwback looking at him. But he's doing all the right things, and they're playing smart, and they're finishing the right areas, and it's just. I think Jonty Gawley will be very happy, and rightly so. His team executing a game plan to perfection.
Haven here, 36-0 to the good. They're 5 short of halfway because the Knights had attempted to go short from the kick-off, and you probably heard the frustrated fan behind us. But to be fair to the Knights after that, they've limited Whitehaven to 15 metres afterwards. So Carter's going to put the kick in along the floor and just going to find touch. Perfect game management, exactly what Whitehaven need, and we're just going to run through some scores elsewhere from around the championship. We normally do this when there's a lull in play. We haven't had opportunities.
Too many tries.
There's too many tries. Barrow 12, Batley 14, Featherstone 18, Halifax 10. Josh will be happy about that one. Swinton 6, Bradford 30, Widnes 14, Doncaster 8. Dropping down into League 1, Keighley 14, Hunslet 14, Oldham 52, Newcastle 0, Rochdale 26, Cornwall 6, Workington 10, Midlands 12, and Midlands were 12-4 up in that game at one point. Back into the game here now. Nico Williams has got ball in hand. He's going to be wrapped up here just beyond his own 40 metre, 9 short of halfway. He's the former Whitehaven halfback. 6 again in favour now as judged to have slowed the play the ball down too much there of Whitehaven, so the Knights get a fresh set of 6 here on halfway, but knocked on, and it just, if anything sums up York City Knights, they throw the ball away. It's then going to be a penalty for throwing the ball away, and that, if anything, that 15 seconds sums up the York City Knights afternoon so far, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Kynhorst, he's played a majority of his career as a Super League operator, and that's just frustration from lad. He has knocked on playing ball, he's threw it away afterwards. They've just got Dagger back on field, it's back to 13 on 13. They've got a 6 again, he's tackled one, and he's knocked on playing ball, and the resulting outcome is Whitehaven are starting to set on York's 20 metre line, and he's just, well, to be fair, he's just got off the line and banged Corkhill, but
he's trying to make up for it, but
they needed that.
That 56 minutes ago.
Yeah, and again, he's gone straight into is it Hindmarsh, who I think's been pretty good since he's come on as well. Sometimes you get lads who are low knees and don't quite do enough, but he's been good.
Hannigan plays the ball. Whitehaven 10 out, comes across to King. King then comes across to Carter. Carter probably should have gone left, but I think Curtis T had come in expecting the ball back inside. Had to keep hold of the ball himself. Did Jay Carter. He's wrapped up 11 metres out. Going to come right now into the hands of Hugh Worthington. Worthington's going to be wrapped up. It's going to be the 5 and last. Whitehaven at 8 metres out. Going to go left, I think, into the hands, then out the back to Carter. Carter puts a little kick forward. Surely doesn't bounce in favour of Haven. It nearly did. McAdam was there, and potential shout of a mini knock on from Ronan Michael, but it means it's going to be the Knights are fetching this ball forward.
Yeah, it's game smarts again though. York, last set they kicked into touch and made them have a controlled restart, and then they've kicked short and made York come off a metre off their own line, and frustratingly they've just given a penalty away for offside. But it's probably one of them you get given against you when you're 36-0 up, that is for sure. But York will start the set on the halfway, and Whitehaven will have to front up.
Fantastic kick from Dagger, saying Knights get to halfway from their own 20. Harrison then takes the tap and has made it to being 38 metres out. Daly's in there at dummy half, comes across to Teamby. Teamby just sticks his head down and runs. Worthington's in there, Corkhill's in that tackle, slowed him down, but the Knights have quickly got to less than 25 metres away from the Whitehaven line. Jordan Thompson, Harry's looking to step back inside. Fantastic defence, however, from Jamie Doran, soon helped by Owen McCarran and Ryan King. Knights now are 18 metres out. Looking to make a couple of changes here are the Knights as well. Thompson with it in midfield, looks to get the ball to Tameby. That is forward. Could tell from here that was forward. And yet again, it's just not the York City Knights afternoon out there, and it's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven, 15 away from their own line.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying it. We're a much better set, I think, there from York. They seem to have the bit between the teeth. They've come onto it well with quite a few carries, and we're playing with a fair bit of pace. And Jordan needs to be a bit better with that. It were yards forward to Teamby, and again, they've just give up position give up the ball in a good position. But again, Whitehaven put him under pressure. Jamie Doran was very good defensively there. We got out and clattered Harris, who once again is holding that arm very badly. I can't see him being on field much longer.
So Whitehaven fetching the ball forward now. Brett Bailey's come on to replace Dan Hindmarsh. Guy Graham's getting ready to come on. I imagine it's probably going to be Hugh Worthington. I think we'll soon find out. It's not Hugh Worthington. Soon find out. I think Ryan King's coming to half and Lachlan Hannigan's going to be going to 9. Penalty to Whitehaven for holding in at tackle. I think Jamie Dornan's going to get expelled here. We'll soon find out. I'm still waiting. Yeah, Jamie Dornan. So what we're going to see is we're going to see Guy Graham go to 13. It's going to be a half-back partnership of Ryan King and Jake Carter. Lachlan Hannigan going to 9. And Jamie Dordan's done a fantastic spell, nearly an hour at 9 to be fair there, Josh.
Yeah, he's had a great game. I mean, it's probably, you could argue, up there with man at match. Everything he's been doing from 9 has been a threat to York, and well deserved. And as I said, I thought they might miss James Newton, but certainly I think that lad Doran has had a great game and well deserved. Pats on back, so he's getting front dugout now.
Brett Bailey out there just to have replaced Dan Hindmarsh. It's going to come from Hannigan, who's in there at dummy half. Carter then found Worthington. They're on the Knights 40 now. Whitehaven comes right into the hands of King. King nearly through there. He's Ryan King. He's got so many skills to his game as Ryan King. He's a second row by trade. He's played at loose forward. He's deputised in the halves of Whitehaven last season and he's doing the same for now. He's a real stalwart in this Whitehaven side. It is the 5 and last. Hannigan's going to go into the hands of Jake Carter. Carter crossfield towards the corner. Romeo's going to try and get there, challenge in the air, but it's going to be collected well by Joe Brown on that right hand side, but he's pinned less than 5 metres away from his own line. The Knights have got some work to do here. This will be Harrison now looking to fetch this ball forward, but he's wrapped up 10 short, still 10 more than 10 away. Hatton Garno's out there back for the Knights. He replaces Ronan Michael. Kermitai's getting ready to go out there as well, but that's third tackle and they're still 10 metres away but from their own line. But Nikhil Williams has scooted from dummy half, and to be fair, he's done well there. He's made 12-13 metres. Daly's going to dive in at dummy half now. 21 and a half minutes to go here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. York 0, Knights 36. York 0, Haven 36. It's scarcely believable that I'm struggling to say it. It is the 5 and last now. Williams is going to put the kick in. It's going to bounce. It bounces behind Mears and wasn't comfortable taking it there and just allowed it to have that extra bounce going along the floor before collecting it. But he's running now. He's Jake Mears, and Lex was trying to see if Joey Romeo would help him out there, but had to take the ball on himself. Did the Italian international. Wrapped up 23 metres away from his own line. Carter in there at dummy half. Goes left to Joey Romeo. Romeo's wrapped up 30 metres away from his own line. Hannigan's dived in at dummy half now, gone down that short side again into the hands of Curtis Teal on this occasion, and Teal makes 8 or 9 metres before being pulled down. 11 short of halfway of Whitehaven. Comes across then to Dean Gebby. Gebby stops in his tracks but can't get away from the York defence. Plays the ball 5 short of halfway. Comes across to Guy Graham. Graham then gets it across to Brett Bailey. Bailey's going to keep his legs pumping, but he's pulled back a metre or 2. Pulled down exactly on halfway, but it's going to be 5 and last here. Hannigan in there at dummy half. Going to go across to Carter. Carter's going to put it deep and say Joe Brown, fetch this from 10 metres out. He's collected it as Joe Brown. He's fetching it from 10 metres out. He's soon met there by a wall of Whitehaven defenders. Fantastic chase from Whitehaven. Met there by Corkill and Graham. Dagger in there at dummy half, looking to come down this short side. It's in the hands there of Tom Lynham. Lynham's got over the York 30. Gone right now. It's going to be Kynhorst. Kynhorst is the man that's pulled down now. 8 metres short of halfway. Hingano to Ty to Harris. Then comes across again into the hands of Connor Bailey. Bailey finds Harrison, but Harrison was trying to spin back inside, but wrapped up by Jake Carter. Fantastic work there from Jake Carter, just coming off the tackle and making sure he got the man straight away. York looking to play here, but it's fantastic work from Graham. Ball comes back from Hingano, then comes off Hugh Worthington, and he's going to be, I think that's going to be unlucky there for Whitehaven. Worthington, it's going to say if he hit the York man's arm, it's Whitehaven's ball there, but he hit the ball, and it's going to be scrum down, head and feet exactly on halfway. But Whitehaven, despite being 36-0 to the good there, Josh, still showing they've got some enthusiasm in defence.
Yeah. As I say, Worthington was a little bit unlucky. I'm not sure what it was who clattered Tigano initially, and then they went through and after Daly was trying to pick up ball, and it's great enthusiasm from them. Everything they're doing is just effort based, and I know you picked out Ryan King earlier, just talking about how good he's been, but he keeps everything very simple. He doesn't overplay his hand, just keeps it simple and works hard, and you're getting your rewards off the back of that, and it's very good to watch.
The Knights are looking to get on the front foot. It's now going to be Jack Tameby, got the ball from Daly in there at dummy half. 10 out now, looking to try and speed it up. Dagger then comes across then to Lynham. Lynham comes back inside. Up now one-on-one with Brett Bailey. I wouldn't want to do that. That was not the choice I would have made, but Tom Lynham made it, and he's helped there by Lachlan Hannigan. He's been pushed back, 7 or 8 metres. Daly goes right, finds Ngannou. Ngannou takes it to the line and then finds Akuma Tai. He's very lucky he's found Akuma Tai, because that pass shouldn't have been on. But it is going to be the 5 and last. Can Whitehaven hold out here? Just under 18 minutes to go. Going to come right from Daly and finds Harris. Harrison out the back to Nico Williams. Then finds in that right hand side corner, and it's Joe Brown in that right hand side corner. Joey Romeo caught guilty, I think, of ball watching them diving in on that right hand side. And York go over for that first try of the afternoon. It's York 4, Haven 36. And to be fair, Josh, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the Knights have worked hard for that try.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, and the 2 sets sort of leading up to it, they'd built a bit of momentum. They've been going forward well. Higano was biting into the line, as you say. He got a bit of a speculative pass to Akuma Tai there, and Lynham had a bit of an opportunity on this left side before cutting back inside, and they built momentum going forward, and it's one of them, the decision on the halfway line where Whitehaven have worked hard, and they're forced 2 errors or had York going backwards, but unfortunately they've hit the ball while making the tackle and been given a knock on against them, and had that gone the other way, I think we could have been looking at 42-0, but York they've shown a bit. Harris is coming off now with his bad arm, and I think that's something that maybe York should have looked at done a long time ago. He clearly has been bust up. He's clearly been holding it. He's the main playmaker, and if he can't play and he's just shoveling ball on each time, it's no good for the side really. So fair play to him to sticking at it, but it's a decision I think I would have made a fair bit of time ago.
Will Dagger has nailed the conversion from the touchline, so it's York 6, Haven 36. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Ross Ainley's back out there now. He's replaced Hugh Worthing, and to be fair, I've been really, really impressed with Hugh Worthing. He's only been with the group less than 2-4 weeks. This is his second game, and he hasn't missed a step. On trial so far has the Welsh international. But Tamby's now going to fetch his ball forward from kick-off, met by Will Evans, Ainley and Corkill all involved, playing it 22 away from their own line. Dagger's going to scoot, Kynhorst, my apologies, is going to scoot from dummy half, trying to fetch him down here. Throws that ball, gone backwards. I know the Knights need to play, but it's living on the edge here. But you can understand why when you're 30 points down, you need to do everything to try and score. And the Knights have got to halfway. Harrison in there at dummy half, comes across to Akuma Tai. Whitehaven just needs to ensure they can try and dampen this enthusiasm of the Knights. Just another 2 or 3 sets of keeping this Knights challenge out, and they should know it's game over. Going to have to go back and play the ball. There's Akuma Tai, still. But he still played it 2 or 3 metres away from where he was stopped. Thompson comes across to Ngannou, finds Dagger. Dagger's going to get it to Lynham on this left hand side. It's going to be coming back for the penalty. Yeah, it's going to come back for the penalty, and I think Gebby might see 10 minutes here. He just caught Will Dagger, he caught him late. Are we going to come back for a penalty here instead? I'm not too sure. I think he's had the choice there as Cameron Worsley. Whichever way, it's going to be a Knights penalty. It's going to be a Knights penalty further down for a high tackle. But Dean Gebby there just stopped Will Dagger, and he gave himself a more by Dean Gebby. He just put his hands up in the air. Normally means I've done something. I hope you haven't seen it.
Yeah, he definitely. Will Dagger's feeling it now. He got hit hard late, and then Kynhorst got hit high. But it was a very good set from York. They were carrying a bit more combatively, and they were getting up front foot and getting their edge through, and it's that sort of thing that I think is probably frustrating the York fans behind us more than anything else, because where's that been for 55 minutes?
Nico Williams looks to step back inside now. He's 5 metres out as he's wrapped up. Combination of McCarron, I think, is it Rio Corkill involved there as well? No, so it was Ryan King. Going to go down that short side looking for the Kuma. Ty runs up to Karen and King. Brett Bailey involved there as well, and he's been pulled down a metre short. The Knights looking for back-to-back tries here, trying to reduce this deficit. Going to come left into the hands of Nico Williams, then comes across to Ngannou, then finds Reynolds, back into Ngannou. It's either a knock-on or it's a forward pass. Sorry, it's or a penalty for offside, accidental offside even, because Ngannou was in front. No, Cameron Worsley, no. Absolutely not. It's saying it's going for Whitehaven, man, and he might be trying to look. Josh, explain, please, if you can, because I can't.
Yeah, so York played from the sticks, and they chucked a wide ball out to Igano a bit into the line and hit Reynolds on a short lead, and it was a speculative one. Reynolds bobbled it, he went through the Whitehaven line to Igano, caught it on the other side, and he said that Whitehaven knocked it on at, I'm not sure where, but it's.
I'll have to watch it back.
Yeah,
I'll have to.
It's put them under pressure, but they've only been broke once all afternoon, and if they get a bit of line speed here, put York back under pressure and stop them playing through.
Thompson finds Ngannou then finds Dagger. They're in on this left hand side. Back-to-back tries for the Knights. 13 minutes to go. I mean, it's involving Whitehaven, so anything could happen, but the Knights have still got a long way to come back. They're over on this left hand side. I think it's Jimmy Kynors who was the man eventually to put the ball down. Dagger's got ball in hand now to try and add on the conversions. It is Kynors that's gone over on this left hand side on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. It's York City Knights 10, Whitehaven 36. As I said, Josh, Whitehaven's evolved, so anything can happen, but it's still a long way back for the Knights.
They've played well for the last 10 minutes, there's no doubt about it, and you've got to be questioning where that has been for the rest of the game. I don't necessarily think Whitehaven have took the foot off the gas, but maybe feeling a bit tired or feeling the job's done. But 36-12, Dagger's just kicked the goal there, and again, if the decision had been right on the previous set, then Whitehaven won't be in that position. But it was a similar sort of style play that they've scored from. They've come round the back to the left, and and this time rather than hit the lead running a bit Kynors round back, and obviously they've come up with a try there. So it's good to watch, but you'd like to have seen it 60 minutes ago from a neutral point of view.
Whitehaven taking every second they can here. The referee Cameron Worsley had already stopped the clock. Ball's then being kicked off the side of the field because it's look at flat. And now Whitehaven are calling for the extra ball. It's going to be, does get a fresh ball now, does Jake Mason. He's going to put the ball down on the kicking tee. BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. York 12, Haven 36. Remember, Haven were 26-0 up at half-time. Comes across then to Jack Tameby. Guy Graham tried to catch him there and caught him sideways, but he didn't stop to Jack Tamby's wrapped up combination of Hannigan and Evans. Daly's in there, comes across to Dagger. Jordan Thompson's out there now, back out I should say. He's been wrapped up 30 metres out away from his own line, centre field. Daly going to go down that right hand side, finds Akuma Ty. Ty tries to step back inside, lost the ball there as Akuma Ty. It's been judged to have been stripped, however, so it's going to be a penalty to Whitehaven. And we mentioned Whitehaven getting rubbed with the green in the first half. The Knights are getting it here. Whitehaven just need to try and slow the Knights' momentum down here, because that is a fantastic kick from Will Dagger, and the Knights are going to start these 20 metres out.
Yeah, Cumbria Tai carried pretty combatively there, and he used the ball as a weapon, and he's bumped him off and lost it for me, but the refs give it as a rip. But you've got to take ownership to look after the ball, but that's certainly becoming left again through Igano, I think.
Ngannou looks to get away, can't get away, gets the offload away, however, to Daly, then finds Tameby, finds Jordan Thompson. Thompson runs hard. King and McCarran eventually fetch him down. The Knights are only 2 metres out. Right hand side of the post. Daly comes in cross then to Ngannou. Shapes to throw the dummy, pulls off, knocks off Hannigan, throws the ball back inside to Tameby, then finds Nicole Williams. Williams shucks a step back inside. He's taken down, lost that ball there. Exactly what Whitehaven needed, because the Knights had found momentum here. With Nicole Williams not able to keep the ball, however, and Whitehaven just got an opportunity to slow the game down. We're going into the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, certainly. I think Whitehaven do just need to slow it down, complete this set, kick to the edges and go from there. What York are doing a little bit differently that they haven't been doing all game is they're not trying to play through the middles. They go in wide. They're playing more 50 split, and they're playing with a wide ball to Igano, who's really coming onto it well, but he's playing straight into the channel. So he's often playing on 4-on-3. He's been getting at Hennigan a fair bit, and they've been putting him under pressure. And because a lot of teams play with a block shape through the middles at the moment, Whitehaven are sort of all eyes in, and that first pass is cutting them out, and obviously they're getting on the front foot off the back of that pass from dummy half, really.
So Joey Romeo plays the ball, finds Owen McCarran. He's nearly been dumped there as Owen McCarran, but was able to stay on his feet. Hannigan then comes from dummy half to find Ross Ainley, and it just needs to be simple from Whitehaven now. Nothing daft, just have a man in support, just run it up. You don't need to offload, you're 24 points to the good. Hannigan's in there at dummy half, then comes across then to Ryan King. King's going to just try and hand off, gets away from one tackle, isn't going to get away from the second, however, and Whitehaven, it is going to be 5 and last, 35 away from their own line. He's struggling here, is Ryan King. Is it a bit of gamesmanship, or is he genuinely injured? Is Ryan King, he's trying to get up and play the ball. Plays the ball now. Hannigan's going to come right from dummy half. It's going to be collected on the full by Will Dagger. Just over 8.5 to go. York 12, Haven 36. They're looking to go for it on play one. Liner then comes back inside. Gets the offload away, but the York man is wrapped up. Combination of Dean Gebby and Will Evans. It's Joe Brown, 10 short of halfway. Then comes across then to Harvey Reynolds. Reynolds is stopped. Bailey, Graham and Ross Ainley all involved. 5 short of halfway. Comes across then to Teamby. Teamby is going to take him over halfway. Good challenge, great challenge in fact from Bailey, completed by Guy Graham. Then finds Ngannou. Ngannou then finds Dagger. Dagger's nearly through, and he's been pulled down, but tackle wasn't completed. Eventually tackled by Will Evans. 22 out to York. Daly's in there, going to go right and finds Ngannou. Ngannou shapes to kick, but then finds Nikhil Williams. Williams then does kick, and it's going to fall favourably for the Knights. Is it going to be a knock on by Whitehaven? I think it is. It's actually going to be a penalty for accidental offside because he come off the Whitehaven man. Romeo was in front, and 7.5 to go, 24 points to go. But the way the York are playing at the minute, you felt like anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing some really good stuff, and they're getting a bit of joy through the middle there. Bailey's come up with a couple of sort of last-ditch tackles, and young kids digging deep, to be fair. But York are they're just on front foot, and Dagger's coming to the fore, and Higano and Daly, and you can't help but wonder where this has been for.
Knock on from the rest of the scrum. No, it's should have come off the foot. Dagger then comes across the line, and York are in their third try in the last 10 minutes. We're setting up for a grandstand finish here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, and it's Tom Lineman on this left hand side corner, and Johnny Gall is saying enough. He's putting Jamie Doran back out there. It seems to be that Whitehaven have gone not to pot, let's say, but have struggled since Jamie Doran's come back out there. Johnny Gall has realised that. He's going to put him back out there, but it is York 16, Haven 36.
They've gone 4-on-3 via scrum, and it's always a risk when you're near your line, because you can't do a pedal sort of slide off defence. You've got to get off the line, and Gebby's bit in, and obviously they've just gone round the back and Lynham slid in the corner, and you're wanting your middles to get out of the scrum quickly and try put pressure from the inside, but it is a bit of a risk. But then you go man for man, and then you're leaving 2-on-2 on the short side, on the other open side, and
it's probably what Whitehaven needed there. Sorry, Josh. Dagger's conversion attempt's gone right across the front, because that means the Knights are going to need at least 4 tries to get anything from this game. And Jamie Doran's back out there. He's replacing Brett Bailey, who hasn't done a lot of minutes, but I think he's essentially the sacrificial lamb there for Johnny Gawley.
I mean, I don't know who Brett Bailey is, if I'm honest, but he looks a relatively young lad, and he's come and he's had a dig, and Doran had a great first 60 minutes, and it'll just sort of reshuffle the shape that Hennigan's been running as a 9, but then defending out on the edge, and it's putting a lot of pressure on King, and to then try attack, and obviously and then defending the middle at field. It's a bit of a change, and just settle the apple cart with Doran, and just try to pin York back in their own half from this set.
So Teamby gets the ball from the kick-off, met there by Ryan King, bounces off King, but tackle completed by Hannigan and Will Evans. Kainos in there at dummy half, a little fumble, incorrect play the ball, however, and it means that Haven's going to get this ball back, and he just slows it down in momentum, and Haven will take every second they can to form this scrum. And to be fair, Josh, it should be all she wrote now. It should have been all she wrote at 36-0, to be fair.
yeah, it should have been. But York have, they've shown a bit. It's frustrating that it's took so long for him to show a bit there. But Team B's had a couple of good kick returns there, as you say. King hit him hard, and then he's messed up the play at ball. And I'd be surprised if Whitehaven don't come away with points here with the way they have been attacking. But they've not had the ball for a long time, so. They might play smart and just play out the set and box it into a corner. They've got a penalty for being offside from a scrum.
Yeah, I think they have, and they've gone immediately for the scrum reset, which I'm surprised about. Is it? No, it's not. It's normally not an immediate choice, but I'm not. Right, whatever it is, it's a scrum against the Whitehaven. Do you know what? Whitehaven are 20 points up. I couldn't care less what he gives right now, as long as it's in favour of Whitehaven, Cameron Worsley. I'll be completely honest. But it means that Whitehaven are going to have a scrum again. Jamie Doran had come right, found Mason. Mason had been tackled, then we've come back for the scrum reset. I'm not too sure why. Like I said, I couldn't care less. No. But Lachlan Hannigan's going to feed the scrum here. Whitehaven held it in the scrum last time. They've done it again. Doran out the base of the scrum, comes to Carter. Carter then elects to keep hold of himself. Curtis Tier would have been through if he could have got that pass away. 4 minutes to go here in York. York 16, Haven 36. Doran comes right into the hands of Ross Ainley. Ainley, he's just going to be wrapped up there. He's the former Kells man. 10 metres out to Whitehaven. Doran in there at dummy half. Going to come right into the hands of King. Now Lachlan Hannigan comes out the back to Will Evans. Evans, little fumble, but collects, pushes the York man off in Kinehorst. But he's wrapped down 5 metres out as the sun starts to come out here at York. Gebby comes from dummy half, finds Mason. Mason doesn't know where to go, right, left, take the line on. Elects eventually just to take the tackle. Doran in there at dummy half, 12 metres out. Going to come left, King, Carter back inside to Curtis Tier. He'd have wanted that pass on the previous play on that side. Well, Curtis Tier is being wrapped up 10 metres out. Doran opposite finds King. King just takes the tackle. It's going to be 4th tackle here for Whitehaven. They're 8 metres out. Legs up in the air, there's arms up in the air, and gets up and plays the ball now. Doran comes left to Carter. Carter puts a little kick forward. Can Jake Mason get there? It's going to have to be pushed dead. Miles Harrison recovered, and it's Harrison that takes it dead. 2 minutes 45 left on the clock here, and it's just Whitehaven. Perfect game management, Josh.
Yeah, they're just turning the screw there. They flew out of line, put a lot of pressure on Carter, who I think's had a fantastic game, and put a lot of pressure in. He's literally caught it, dropped it straight to boot in one movement. The Masons chased hard, Tiers chased hard, and again it's those little things that have just earned them a great reward. They've got to drop out from that, and it just builds a bit more pressure, and it just takes all wind out of York's sails really for the last 2 minutes of this game.
York attempted to go short, not short enough. Well, Evans collected around about his 20 metre mark and found then Gebby. Gebby plays the ball, went left into the hands of Guy Graham, and Guy Graham's made 13-14 metres. Fantastic work from the Scottish international. Incorrect play of the ball, however. I've just cursed him. But yeah, I think the game is just petering to a end, and it's going to be a penalty for throwing the ball away. And he's only give that because someone has said, well, you penalised us for that earlier on. Yeah. As Cameron Worsley went, I suppose I did. I'm going to have to give a penalty here, aren't I?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit done by Doran. You've seen him do it a couple of minutes before. He hadn't thrown it away in the same sort of style that Kinehorst did. He's rolled it away under sticks, but it just wasn't needed.
So penalty brings York to flashing 5 metres away from halfway. Dagger now gets the pass across. The York man's going to be wrapped up. I'm inclined to think it could be Connor Bailey there. It is Bailey. Kumatai now comes across to Jordan Thompson, finds Ngannou. Ngannou's looking to come down this side, finds Kinehorst. Kinehorst is going to be wrapped up. Hannigan, Evans and Corkle all involved and pushing back 5 metres there. Of course, the former Leeds Rhino and German international. Daly comes across to Ngannou, back to Daly. Then going to be just wrapped up by Lachlan Hannigan. Guy Graham. Jubb. Then in a dummy half now. Ngannou trying to get away and does get away from Jamie Doran. Finds Nick Williams with a fantastic offload, but he's going to be wrapped up there. It's going to be the 5 and last. We're into the final minute here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Ngannou's going to come left. Going to put the kick across, going to put some pressure on Adine Gebby, but there was no one there in the York shirt to put any sort of pressure on, and this should be the final set for Whitehaven, and it should be a glory set. Jake Mears is going to be in there at dummy half. Will Evans now going to fetch his ball forward. Calls for a high tackle from a couple of the Whitehaven players. Referee Cameron Worsley not interested. 30 seconds to go. Dawning in there at dummy half, then comes across to Joey Romeo. Romeo's going to be wrapped up. Kine, Horsting, Garno and Thompson all involved. And Whitehaven are not interested about making any meters. They're just interested in not dropping this ball. Curtis Tier, he's interested in making some meters. He's made 5 or 6 before being pulled down. We're into the final 10 seconds here at the Ellinar Community Stadium. Yohan McCarran runs hard, just needs to keep hold of the ball, but spins out the tackle. It's going to be wrapped up. The hoot has got a sound. Full time here at the Ellinar Community Stadium, and what a victory for Johnny Gawley's Whitehaven. It's York City Knights 16, Whitehaven 36. All the hard work done in the first half of Haven and find themselves 26-0 up at the break. Tries in the second half from Joey Romeo and Lachlan Hannigan. Conversion on one of them from Hannigan's try from